disbelief in Dalton Thursday evening as Chicago's former mayor, who was hired to investigate Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's administration, revealed a shocking spending of taxpayer dollars.
Drama in Dalton. Credit card transactions amounting to thousands of dollars without explanation and millions more owed to vendors.
A bombshell report highlights just how much financial trouble the village of Dalton is really.
They say the village is facing financial disaster and they blame the mayor for mismanagement. She says this is all just political retribution.
No response to repeated interview requests. I tried to track down Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard in person today. Village employees told me she wasn't in the...
Tiffany Henyard seems set on leaving the banks of Dalton and Thornton Township completely drained before she exits office. While the residents were aware of the financial struggles, they never anticipated just how dire the situation was until revelations from Lori Lightfoot came to light. Now the village is buried in millions of dollars in debt. Let's rewind a few weeks to understand how this all unfolded. Throughout her tenure, Henyard's time in office has been mired in accusations of corruption and favoritism, yet she shows no signs of remorse or concern. For years, residents have been calling for her to step down, but things reached a boiling point when an FBI investigation into her actions was announced.
We've learned from multiple sources that federal agents are in fact interviewing witnesses as part of a possible investigation that may or may not result in charges.
The situation escalated after multiple complaints were filed against Tiffany Henyard, including allegations from business owners who claimed their businesses were shut down simply because they refused to back Henyard's political endeavors.
Coincidence or retaliation? Both of the Dalton bars that were raided and shut down last night, we visited the day before as part of our ongoing investigation into allegations of political corruption in Dalton.
They just rushed in here, put police at the front of the door like they was doing a raid on the drug houses.
A team of Dalton police officers raided and shut down Pablo's Bar and Cafe and Rinky's Bar and Cafe, both located on Sibley, about a block apart.
Everything going peacefully. Nothing going on. It's like 10 police cars came in and they start pushing customers from here. And he said, if you don't leave, we're going to lock you up.
Employees and owners say it's part of an ongoing campaign of harassment by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard that is costing jobs and money. Their business licenses have been stripped by Dalton, but they've continued to operate with a state license.
A few months later, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was tasked with investigating Tiffany Henyard's alleged corruption. As expected, Henyard fought back at every turn. Her first strategy was to blame the trustees for the village's growing debt.
Creating chaos. Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard at the helm of the village's first PAC meeting since Dalton trustees passed a resolution last month requiring her to turn over the village's financial records and asking the FBI to investigate her alleged misuse of village funds. The mayor admits to a $2 million deficit, but trustees say it's millions.
In a clumsy and nearly embarrassing move, Tiffany Henyard attempted to veto the FBI investigation into her actions. However, her veto was quickly overturned by a majority vote from the Board of Trustees.
The mayor vetoed their resolution.
The veto message is related to the secret squirrel meetings, yes, that the Board of Trustees have.
The trustees vowed to override her veto. One of them, Kiana Belcher, sitting at the meeting with her portrait because she says it was removed from the wall of Village Hall.
And this is just a process to drag it along, but everybody sees what's going on.
The village, under Henyard's leadership, is cracking down on access, pushing media at tonight's meeting to the very back of the room, almost out of sight of public comment from residents. But their voices were loud and clear.
You lied to us as residents. You do not stand for me. And I want you to step down as mayor today and save our village from this deficit that you have caused.
The mayor can blame everybody for what's going on, but she has to look at herself. Nobody told her to get on TV and lie like that.
Everybody cares about the person that's making the mess.
Henyard placing the blame elsewhere.
But only just when you got both sides of the story, not one-sided narratives, which is negative narratives.
Tiffany Henyard has consistently presented herself as innocent, frequently dismissing the allegations against her as stemming from anti-Black or anti-female prejudice. However, she has continually avoided answering questions regarding her notorious Las Vegas trip, where she allegedly spent thousands of taxpayer dollars on hotels, dining, and airfare.
As you heard me speak today in my board,
some of those charges are for you. You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that? You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
of course I do.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
You're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I band together at this time, at this moment. This is going to be Black History Month, right? Y'all all say Martin Luther King had a dream. So guess what? I am the dream.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. Of course I'm gonna give away $1 million to help you pay your mortgage and your rent. Of course I am. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. We get scrutinized in the meeting. For what? Loving on the people, showing them that they matter to us. We going through the fires for y'all. Black History Month. As the first African American female mayor of Dawson, of course I'm misunderstood. Y'all should be ashamed of y'all stuff. Y'all black. Y'all black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of.
Lori Lightfoot's initial report left residents of Dalton and Thornton in disbelief, presenting findings that caused audible gasps from the audience.
Quarter audit since 2021. The general fund for day-to-day operations in the red with $3.65 million. Police department expenditures up 21%, with 2 officers paid more in overtime pay than regular pay. As of June 18th, 589 checks totaling more than $6 million approved but not sent to vendors. 6 different credit cards with receipts rarely provided, and purchases under investigation, including $40,000 in charges to Amazon.
You may hear a number of things in the coming days. But what I can assure you is the information that we've shared, that we're putting our names on, is drawn directly from financial records of the church.
I knew we were broke. And the way she broke it down, and just let the other residents hear what was really going on, because Tiffany Henyard always talk about fake news, and this is...
Following the report, Tiffany Henyard appeared to disappear, avoiding attempts by news outlets to reach her. This came after revelations that she had driven the general fund into millions of dollars of debt, without even considering the additional accusations of embezzlement.
Also found the village's credit card spending is out of control. Mayor Tiffany Henyard didn't respond to any of my requests today, and I'm told she's not in the building. No response to repeated interview requests. I tried to track down Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard in person today. Village employees told me she wasn't in the office and didn't say when she would be, a day after this. A packed community meeting Thursday night, outburst after outburst.
The trustees emphasized the findings to underscore that Tiffany Henyard was anything but a leader for the community, instead using public funds to support her lavish lifestyle.
$3,000 at Amazon. What a slap in the face to everybody that resides in 60419 zip code.
I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers. So I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark. There are a number of other things we know, but we aren't ready yet. We got to verify them 20 ways from Sunday.
Here is proof for everyone to see, and even the ones who doubt us. If you don't see through this, there's nothing I can say to you. February of 2025, clean house. Clean house.
In the meantime, Tiffany Henyard has taken measures to protect herself from investigations, even bringing her criminal defense attorneys to board meetings. These attorneys seem to have become her new trusted allies, particularly after she let go of her former chief aide, Keith Freeman.
Things about me, I want you to prove it. Because, like I said, fact versus fiction. So you got us into this mess, and now we're trying to salvage what we can to get out.
Sitting at the mayor's side in a place usually reserved for the village attorneys, 2 unfamiliar faces. This is Chicago Federal Criminal Defense Attorney Bo Brindley, along with his law partner Ed McDavid. The website for Brindley's law firm says, "Results matter, aggressive criminal defense." The 2 criminal lawyers sat next to Henyard the entire meeting and even went into the board's closed executive session. Henyard is at the center of an ongoing FBI corruption investigation.
I didn't know them. A lot of my board members, they didn't know them either. We didn't know.
As expected, Tiffany Henyard has also claimed that she's the one doing all the work, accusing the trustees of wasting resources by investigating her. The irony is hard to miss, especially since she was once a Dalton Village trustee herself. On top of that, she elevated Louis Lacey to an even more prominent position.
Police Chief Louis Lacey, fired for insubordination last week by the Dalton Village Board, is back, appointed by Tiffany Henyard as police chief. Trustees say it's an illegal appointment. Lacey was arraigned on federal bankruptcy fraud charges Thursday afternoon. It's alleged that he lied under oath in a scheme to hide assets and income from creditors.
Mr. Lacey is absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I think the government likes to bring as many counts as possible, just so the media will say that he has been charged with 9 counts.
During the initial meeting, it was revealed that Tiffany Henyard had failed to submit any financial reports for the past 2 years, which raised serious concerns about her management. This revelation triggered immediate action, including the freezing of $135,000 that would typically be allocated for unpaid fees and traffic fines, as the village attempted to regain control of its finances. Meanwhile, Henyard's increasingly controversial actions have started to alienate some of her previous supporters, with a whistleblower emerging from the Thornton Board of Trustees to expose further wrongdoing.
Recently, Henyard enjoyed near unanimous support on the Thornton Township Board, but now trustee Carmen Carlisle says after trusting Henyard and remaining silent, she will be a whistleblower against Henyard. Carlisle released a statement to WGN that reads in part, "For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township in the village of Dalton." Henyard shows no accountability or conscience for her actions against employees or taxpayers. Henyard has denied wrongdoing and claims her opponents are out for what she calls click.
As tensions continue to rise in Dalton, the focus recently shifted to Tiffany Henyard's controversial appointment of a new village administrator.
Next appointment will be for village administrator.
Last night, Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard appointed a new top aide to a $100,000 a year job without board consent. 34-year-old Michael A. Smith, who's been active in South suburban politics for years.
And the reason for Mike is he have a wealth of great information. He's a young person and ex-politician. He knows the laws like the back of his hand.
Perhaps that's because Smith has been in and out of trouble with the law for years. Public reporting shows Smith has been charged at least 8 times with crimes ranging from domestic battery to official misconduct. In 2012, Smith, then a young trustee in Dixmoor, resigned after pleading guilty to theft when he allegedly stole gasoline by posing as a police officer. Then in 2018, Smith was working as an assistant dean at Thornton Fractional High School when he was fired for sexual harassment of a female student.
To make matters worse, while the village struggles under millions of dollars in debt, Tiffany Henyard appears far too distracted to tackle the pressing issue. What do you think about the situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for more updates.